Fit Intent Nation, it is day 34, one day before the halfway mark, if you can believe it. One day, and I'm in a bit of a different setting today. I'm down in San Antonio, and I'm in a super old house. This house has got to be at least 100 years old. I'd probably say it's probably from the 1800s. A lot of houses here were built in the mid 1800s. And a lot of European settlers, a lot of Germans, French, etc. So there's a lot of European flair down here with the old houses, and beautiful houses, super high ceilings, and just a lot of charm and interesting architecture. Yeah, a lot of history here, a lot of recent history, I guess we should say. Anyways. I've been looking through your food journals, of course, and I give you feedback. And one thing I want to mention, and this is not directed at any individual. This is the majority of you. Okay, well over the majority of you. This is like 80% of you at least. A lot of foods that are not real whole foods. Now, I realize I said you don't have to be real whole foods, but I'm going to really encourage you to not eat things, and this is just like a short list of foods that I see, but I see things like crackers or fruit juice or jams or cereals or flavored popcorn or processed meats, fig bars, muffins, lattes from outside. The problem with these foods is, well, there's a number of problems. Number one, calorically they're going to vary. Even if they say what's in them, calorically speaking, we know that there can be a large margin of error with that. Secondly, there are usually a lot of additives in here that just aren't good for us. All right, so and I realize you might say, well, you can get that with fruits and vegetables, pesticides and stuff like that. I do realize that, but we're trying to at least minimize these additives. And so I want to really, really, really encourage you to stick with the real whole foods. And in fact, when I travel, as you know, I'm staying in, this is an Airbnb, and I do this so I can have a kitchen, and food is a priority for me. So when I land here last night, first thing I do is go get groceries. So actually I should show you guys. I'm going to show you actually what some of the groceries are here. So can I flip this around? Okay, well, let's see if I can do... Okay, actually, I'll show you. So I make sure that I bring all of my supplements here. So don't forget my supplements. Actually, I did forget protein powder. So I had to go out and buy some, which was really terrible. So I had to buy this, super expensive too. Hurts. Financially it hurts because it's like I never pay this kind of amount for protein powder, obviously because I get it all wholesale. Okay, so some oatmeal here. I'm gonna do more shopping. I was in a bit of a rush, so I got oatmeal. I've got some bananas. I like my bananas a bit greener. I'm gonna show you your basic food here. So we've got this is made spinach. I've got lemons here. This is steak. I've got eggs, my iso bars, blueberries, as you can see here. This is fish. This is 96% lean ground beef. I've got egg whites. I've got potatoes down here. I've got chobani. This is Greek non-fat plain yogurt. I got fish oil that I bring with me. Apple cider vinegar, apples here, some onions to cook with, more different kind of apples. I made a bunch of broccoli, you can see there, a bunch of broccoli for today. And so it's all real whole foods. Basically, but like I mentioned, if you can pick it, pull it, harvest it, or kill it, it's much, much better for you. Okay, we've got to remember too that it's not just about the way that we look, but obviously the way that we feel. And also we want to avoid we want to avoid those foods that are poisoning us. And I know that sounds like maybe I'm exaggerating here, but there are a lot of things out there. The more and more I look into it, it's like these manufactured food, these prepackaged foods, there's a lot in there that you really want to avoid. Okay, so I'm going to highly encourage you to do that. Stick with the real whole foods. Everything in there, with maybe the exception of the isobars, but even the isobars are made with real whole food ingredients. Is real whole food, and maybe the protein powder. Everything else is just raw foods, okay? And I did get some spices there. I didn't show you, but there was also coconut oil that I bought to cook with. So we got to think basic, and I guarantee you, if you think basic, if you go beyond thinking basic, if you eat basic, it's going to be a game changer. If your diet is primarily basic foods, I guarantee you it's going to be a game changer. Even if you just said, even if you went with just these two rules, you said every meal is just going to be real whole food, and I'm going to make sure that I get a good serving of protein, strong food, I guarantee you're going to see massive results even without measuring your food. Okay? Now, it's not to say that the amounts don't matter, but it's just way harder to eat a lot of food that's when it's in its real whole food state, with maybe the exception of things like high fat things like maybe certain kinds of meats, and even that would be hard to eat a lot of it. What's a good example? Nuts. Yeah, you can really overdo it on nuts. Okay, so think real whole food. I cannot stress this enough. Real whole food. All right. A lot of these prepackaged foods, aside from all the crap that you're getting in there, the estimated amount of energy in there and what you're getting, the estimated amounts of carbohydrates and fats, they're going to be off. All right. So you got to deal with that as well. So think about your health. Obviously, we care about the way we look. We care about the way that we feel. But we want to think about our health long term. Okay. So actually, I'm going to remind you of a message of the day that I think I gave to you guys maybe a couple weeks ago, and it's the following: every meal is a short-term investment in how you feel, a mid-term investment in how you look, and a long-term investment in your freedom from disease. A long-term investment in your freedom from disease. Remember this. A long-term investment. I mean, how many people do you know that die from, and I'm not suggesting that this is just diet related, but it certainly plays a part. I mean, how many people do you know that getting cancer or neurological diseases or heart disease? I think that pretty much sums up, those three things right there sum up the majority of deaths. Okay. So do your best. Do your best. Challenge yourself. Try to improve. Okay. Maybe don't go all whole foods if you can't do that, but let's try to improve, right? Try to eat more of these real whole foods. Okay. Try to get to the point where, virtually everything's coming from real whole food. It doesn't have to happen overnight, but let's try to get there. Okay. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.